Welcome back to Biz Today. Our very exciting topic that we've got and we're speaking about, Bitcoin. What is this digital currency and how does it allow you to participate in the global digital economy? We've been speaking with Don Gray, we've got him in studio. It's very exciting to understand how we can participate in the economy no matter our financial background. And I think one particular interesting thing we were talking about just before going to break, while during the break, was about the fact that it's interest-free. The earnings are interest-free. Tell us more about that, Don.
Well, what I do in the trading platform that I work with, having converted it into Bitcoin, is that I trade in companies where their business is all internet-based. We do not claim interest at all. We, in turn, believe that by buying and selling, we are able to produce a profit, and that profit is then shared with others. Now, the platform that I work with is a global platform which has now 40,000 members. And they are all working in a digital economy, investing together, and in turn, we are producing profit. There's absolutely no interest involved in the generation of the profit that we do.
This must be very attractive then for the Muslim community, as I would know, with Sharia compliant banking.
Yes.
This is a great way to invest because we know that it's interest-free and the returns are interest-free, of course.
The interest, there is no interest, and as you rightly say, we've built it in that way to embrace all communities, all, if I say, faiths, and recognizing and respecting the way they approach their financial affairs. And that's what we've done, and it works beautifully.
If you're interested to learn more about Bitcoin and of course make an investment and need to connect with someone, Don's details will be up on the screen. They're up on the screen right now, but all details will appear at the end of this clip also. So please stay tuned for that and make sure that you get the details. You can connect with Don. Don, I want to talk about internet connectivity. That is a cause for concern in the country. We've seen that with Data Must Fall campaign that was trending on Twitter recently, and even went so far as to Parliament, calling on our large telecoms companies to reduce data prices. So we know it's a common concern for South Africans. And the amount of data is almost as necessary as bread and milk these days.
Indeed.
How do we play in the digital economy while trying to address the challenge of internet connectivity for South Africans? What would you say?
Very interesting, because I think we all recognize that the internet economy is not just about having a laptop. It is also about having a cell phone. I think we recognize too that in the urban communities, more and more people are working with smartphones.
That's right.
And they have a small amount of data, and that data, if used correctly, can go a long way. Now, the big thing about using data on your telephone is that you will spend it if you download videos and pictures. However, if you use it in the right way, you will be able to make that last a long time on your phone. And the great thing about Bitcoin and the bank account that I recommend is that you can transact on your phone with Bitcoin. So your whole transaction, what I've been talking about now, can be done on your phone. I have an account with a digital bank which allows me to receive an app on my phone that manages my whole Bitcoin account. Easier, should I say, easier than any local bank.
It's an excellent way to look at it. The whole idea of how people are smart about their data management on their mobiles is such a big topic, and you could not have said it better.
One of my pet subjects is how to get the most from a cell phone company. And if I were to tell you, and I won't disclose who it is, but I'm happy to let it be known, I get 100 gigs a year. for 999 Rand, which means that every gig is 10 Rand. Now, if you look at what the normal guys are selling you, you're not going to get 10 gigs. Is that 10 gigs? 1 gig for 10 Rand.
One gig at 10 Rand, that's not even thought of yet.
Correct. So I get that from a local supplier, one of the big 4. So if you manage your data, you can get value on your cell phone to allow you to do the things you want.
We're wrapping up an extremely interesting conversation. I think, Don, that you and I need another 2 to 3 episodes to expand on the digital economy.
Love to.
But as we come towards the end of what's been an incredibly interesting and insightful conversation, I want to spend a little bit of time on what the digital economy means for unbanked people. So unbanked, for the interest of our viewers, meaning people who don't have access to a bank account and have never transacted in that way before. And for people in developing countries. What does this mean as a game changer, as a disruptive way of being a banked person?
It's a very interesting subject, Nazareen, because even our banked people are nervous of Bitcoin, let alone the unbanked people. However, how I describe it is, if you remember 20 years ago where the internet was, Bitcoin and what you can do with it today is where the internet was 20 years ago. Now look at where the internet is now. In 20 years' time, maybe those who remember this interview will say, I remember that when we talked about where it is going. So for the unbanked, it is great. If you have a smartphone, it's all about whether you are prepared to change your platform of life. Whether you're prepared to change and accept different ways of doing things. But if you're still worried about risk, then I'm afraid you might well be like the tortoise with its head in the shell. Because until a tortoise sticks its head out of its shell, it will not move forward. If you are a tortoise and you're not prepared to stick your head out, stick your neck out, you will never move from where you are to where you want to be.
Mr. Dongre, it's been such a pleasure having you on Biz Today. I'm certain that we're going to see you on future episodes as we progress in the understanding of Bitcoin for general South Africans and more people participate in this digital economy.
Thank you, Nazareen.
Wonderful.
Big pleasure.
That was Don Gray. He's the CEO of Adventure Capital and also a qualified behavioral economist. He is one of the leading advocates for the Bitcoin currency that dictates the digital economy. It's a democratic platform for you to be able to earn an income, a life, have a good quality of life without being restricted by the institutions that govern our lives to death, I would say, because that's how I feel about it. And I'm certainly going to be exploring it as an investment opportunity in the year 2016. Don's details are on screen. Please take advantage of this. Think about it. Talk to your families about it. It's a wonderful way, a disruptive way of thinking about how you can provide a new income stream for your family and for future generations. Tune in next week when we host yet another successful entrepreneur, or we speak about a trending topic in business that could positively impact you. Until next week, goodbye.